My name is Carter Budens. Today we're going to be discussing Medicare supplement rate increases. This is something that is becoming a hot topic in the Medicare world. When looking at all these plans, we see these huge rate increases. And it's not just one carrier, it's all of the carriers, it seems like, right? And so especially, this is important for you if you're turning 65 and you're coming into this world and you're seeing all of these increases, or you're already on a Medicare supplement and you yourself have your plan going up, significantly every single year. So today what we're going to talk about is why that might be happening, what are some things that you can do, and some things to consider when choosing a Medicare supplement from the jump, right, from the beginning. And so when we look at Medicare supplement, in general, we understand that Medicare supplements are standardized. And what that means is your coverage, let's say a Plan G with Humana, a Plan G with AARP, doesn't matter the carrier, but that Plan G is standardized. That insurance does not change from one carrier to the other. So the good thing for you is that you don't have to worry about taking a lesser plan or a lesser insurance carrier that you might not have heard of, because the coverage will be exactly the same. Now, just because we hear these big names or we hear names we've never heard of doesn't necessarily mean that that is better or worse coverage, and we'll kind of talk about. So one of the things that I always go over with my clients when looking at Medicare supplement plans, besides picking G versus N or all of that, and we can definitely get into a different video on that. But when looking at Medicare supplement plans, there's a few things that we look at. Number one, we look at, the carrier. How long have they been in the market, right? You get a lot of carriers that, even though the coverage is no different than these big carriers, it's important to know how long have these carriers been in the market, right? Have they only been here for 2-3 years, right? Or we're looking at carriers that are 10 plus years, right? So they have some sustainability. They have some, experience in the marketplace, if you will. So that's a big one. Obviously, looking straight up at costs to begin with is important. Like, which carrier is more expensive, which carrier is less expensive. That helps you get an idea of seeing like the range of plans and kind of looking in between as well at what these carriers cost you. One of the other things that a lot of people don't understand or don't look at are household discounts. There's a lot of carriers that will give household discounts to, maybe you or a spouse getting on the same plan, or just having someone above a certain age that you live with can give you a household discount as well. So that's important to understand. A lot of carriers can do that. Not all of them do. So, those are a few things. The last thing that I look at is we look at rate increase history, right? Now, this can be a little tricky because we've seen every carrier increase significantly, for the most part. So it's hard to understand, this carrier increased this year, but next year that carrier might increase just as much or not at all or very little, right? So it's hard to understand that, but we can get a gauge from looking at all the carriers in the last few years. What are their rate increase histories? What do they look like? Do we see patterns of certain carriers going up more than others? So that's very important that we look at. So if you're someone that's on a Medicare supplement, understand this. Your coverage, if you change it, will stay the same, right? So that's a plus. You don't have to worry about all these moving parts. But in order to change a Medicare supplement, we do have to go through underwriting in most states, in most cases. So that can handicap people a little bit as well. But the main premise of my video is like, hey, why are supplement plans going up? Why, or what to look for when choosing a Medicare supplement? Those are all very important things that you're going to want to look at as a consumer before you get onto a Medicare supplement.